Hi, friends. It's been, I want to say 6 months, maybe more. 7, 8 months. Almost a year, I guess. More halfway through a year. That I've talked about Crohn's and things like that. And then I've noticed that is because it's hard to talk about. And me, myself, and I, once I'm been able to not grasp, but attain a normal life that I yearned for, that I basically would dream about, has been attained, then I kind of don't want to talk about this. And maybe people that have been on remission with Crohn's know what I'm talking about. Maybe you want to be on remission and it's a really difficult time right now, which I can totally relate to. And I'm just trying to self-reflect and kind of develop thoughts of why that has happened. And I think it's because once we gain what we wanted, we don't look at the negative aspects of our lives because it's really hard to, right? You really have to go back and really think of why you were feeling the way you were feeling, the negative thoughts that would come, and then if they come into your reality that is now where you're better, you still need to learn how to live through them in a positive light, especially when your life is so much better. And then I think it was yesterday, I was thinking to myself, what if I was still sick, or like what if I was even more sick? Would I still have this so joy-filled, hopeful perspective in life? And I guess I don't know, or maybe I do know. Maybe I wouldn't be so joyful, because the positive psychology of it is, when it rains, there can be sunshine the day after. There's gonna be a rainbow. There's always that glimmer of light. And now that I am even talking about it, I'm thinking, even if I was still sick, and when I was really sick, I think there's aspects in that season that make you smile. And I think is learning to see that sliver, that glimmer, because it's not going to be easy to see, especially in the moment. So yeah, that's been a bit of my reflection lately. I'm a Catholic. I think most of you guys already know, and kind of like that body spiritual balance integrated that I think our world forgets about. I think it's beautiful to see that, because even my diet, right, guys, like practically speaking, it is different from what I used to be when I was a child. And I've grown so much to avoid many things, but there comes a time where we do fall into eating a cookie. Like this week I had 2 cookies, gluten and sugar, not good. They can be triggers, they are triggers. So then is looking at what I can and cannot do. Last night there was a social and I went to it and they had pizza. They had sandwiches. What else? They had a veggie tray and they had some fruits. Not a lot. It was like only like strawberries and grapes and cheese. So I did grab a small plate and had some carrots and cucumbers. And what else? A strawberry. I had 1 strawberry and some grapes. But then my stomach did hurt. And I think it might have been the seeds from the strawberry, ? Like, again, it's not like a pain. I'm like, whoa. Like, we can still live through the pain, but I guess I was kind of upset in a way because I'm like, it was just veggies. Like a little plate. And before that, when I was at home, I knew there was going to be pizza. I knew there was going to be sandwiches. And guess what, guys? In the past, because I've been so well, I eat it. because I'm like, well, if I don't eat it, people ask questions. If, I do this, then all the things, right? Which I think anybody with an autoimmune condition that knows that needs to watch what they eat can definitely relate to this, because you know what it's like to know that, or let's say you're not eating, people are like, oh, like, why aren't I eating? Everybody else is eating. You're like, and you feel this sort of peer pressure to eat, even though in a way you don't want to. Yeah, and then my placement, when I ate the 2 cookies that I was talking about, I justified it myself. I said, this special person made the cookies, and in honor of that, I want to have one. But then I had another one. So, and it's also not, I'm not here to like tell you guys and then bring myself down. I'm just telling you guys that it happens. That it is okay to fall, because that's not part of your regimen. And it's not gonna benefit you, but you still do it anyway. Because again, it's a joy in life, right? To be able to eat sweets. But we can't stay there. And that's also another point. We can't stay there. We have to learn to get back up. So I was saying, as I was saying, all this has happened, right? And then just trying to reflect. The practicality of things. So I knew there was going to be sandwiches. I knew there was going to be pizza. So then I thought to myself, what is at home right now? And maybe this is something that some of you guys can relate to. What is something at home that I can take so then I don't have to eat what's there? Because I'm just like, well, that's what's there. Maybe I should just eat it. Because yeah, I have eaten pizza, those sandwiches. And it's kind of like you wait until you feel really sick, whatever. So I decided to, take chicken. I heated it up. I put it in a container that kind of seals the heat in, like a metal container. I had this for a very long time because I like my food to be warm. And I ate it, not at the social, because I had the little plate and then I was just talking to people, so I had literally no time. But when we went out after the social, like around 10ish, I know it was like really late, but I was very hungry. I ate it. And it felt good to just know that I could eat this and peace. And this is so funny because it's literally just about eating, but there's so many layers that's like, okay, well, so many exceptions, everything. And it just feels so good to know, okay, this is going to be good for my body. And in a way, I was treating myself in the sense that I felt peace. I felt good about eating this versus all that, in a way, trash, right? That is going to do damage to my body. And I don't want to say food is trash. I want to say that, like, my body treats that as trash. So, yeah. So that's, I guess, that little update of what's going on. And then some of you guys know, at least from the videos that I put out there, is that I have perianal fístulas. And they have been healing. Thanks be to God. I want to say I've had 6 and I'm halfway. I think I only have 3 left, which is pretty amazing. And you guys are probably thinking, how did you do that? Keeping that area clean. I personally don't clean it. I think my mom is like my at-home nurse. So just to be very clear on that. And I was on hyperbaric oxygen therapy. I have spoken about this in some of the other videos, but I think I've been off of it since January of 2025. So it's more than a year now. And I started school in May, so it's just been go, go, go. And one of the things that I think that has helped me heal is limiting my sugar intake. And again, I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I'm here to tell you that it is possible. And then putting a lot of ointments on it that are de-inflammatory, antibacterial, all the things. And I guess, yeah, the hyperbaric osteotherapy helped 100%. And last year, and I think, again, I put videos about this, going to the beach, it has to be sea salt water, and not to sort of forget about this, but also doing the sea salt baths with Epsom salt, with sea salt. And I would do them pretty much regularly or when I could. But again, I started school, so things changed. Is that a good thing? I think so, yes. But even for myself, even making this video, it's a reminder, Anna, maybe you should do it once a week. Because again, I'm not there where I want to be. Oh, the fridge is kind of loud right now. So it's like, okay, maybe I should go back. And I did it like this past week. So maybe once a week, going back to that regimen would be nice. Or it would be ideal to add to the process of healing. And then fast forward, I want to say it was a month ago or 2 months ago. So the end of January, as my mom has been the one looking at the process, she suggested that if I was to get prescribed antibiotics that kind of looked specifically at this sort of bacteria, because when one has these sort of perianal fístulas, and I think you guys know, again, if you're watching this, you have to get to what am I trying to say? You have to get to the center of the infection so then it can go away and then your body can kind of like seal. So whether I talk about diet, sea salt baths, I would dare to say you should travel to a place where you have a beach, and that will help you so much to heal. Stress, maybe I should also add that. And maybe being able to find ways that you enjoy, just doing things that you like to do. I will talk about a bit what I was talking about with getting to the root of the antibiotics, but I guess I also just wanted to talk about, doing things that you like to do because it's going to de-stress you. So I started going to soccer because I love running around and exercising. I started doing home workouts, writing things down, like lists or just things that happened to me that day, or typing them out on my phone, like little memories, listening to music, dancing. I love dancing. Karaoke, like singing out loud. So things that I think from a neurological perspective increases your dopamine naturally. You don't have to take sugar, you don't have to take drugs, you don't have to take something else that, again, it's going to offset your stomach, it's going to offset your autoimmune system. So all of that. Okay, so then with this antibiotic, so I went to this doctor. I cannot tell you guys the name of antibiotic. Should have probably got that ready for this video, but I don't want to get it. It's just going to be too distracting. But maybe I put in the description. But there is an antibiotic that could help, or maybe no, I shouldn't give medical advice. But there's an antibiotic that can help. Guys, it's spiky hair. With getting rid of whatever is the trigger for the wound to stay open, because again, once it's fistula is infected, it's going to stay open. So you want to get rid of that, and it can be from all the inflammation that one can have for multiple reasons, right, against those trigger foods that I have talked about. And also I think it's homework to figure out your trigger foods. I guess I could also just make a video about trigger foods because I haven't done that. That'd be a good idea. And yeah, so I was taking it. I took it for a month, and lo and behold, I started getting this feeling of throwing up. Yay me! So excited. And again, I have this sort of like perception, I'm living a normal lifestyle. I have to take antibiotic. I'm at a social setting. I don't want people to see me take this pill because I don't want to portray that something is wrong with me. So I wouldn't take it at the hour that you're supposed to take because it was twice a day, and I think you have to have like 12 hours difference. So like say I took it at 6 a.m. and I had to take it at 6 p.m. And then I would change all the time because I'm like, oh well, today I woke up at 7. Let me take it at 7. So I would change it all the time. It was just really bad. But anyways, accumulation happened of the half-life. I think some people know about this, of the antibiotic in my body. So I just started feeling like, what is this? So I stopped taking it. And my mom, I keep bringing up my mom because she's the one that's, been helping me so much. She's like, I think you still need to take it because she was seeing such progress. Again, this is why I'm here, to decrease, right? And heal what needs to be healed. So then I, yesterday, woke up really early because the certain doctor that I went has odd hours, and it was from 4 to 7 a.m. He's older. He's on the older sort of age. I think he's probably like 80. I'm not joking. He's like an old Yoda that just heals people, and his main specialty is acne. So he treats, I'm not sure what the research is on this, but he treats most skin sort of blemishes and things like that, and infection as acne. He's like, it's all acne. The first time I went, that's what he would say. And he came in. I waited like 45 minutes to see him. It wasn't that long, which is so good, especially here in Canada. And because it's like a walk-in, and you don't really have an appointment. It's like a walk-in, and you have to wait for him to see you that same day. So it has to be like same day checkups. And he said, you do have to take this antibiotic. If I was to prescribe you an antibiotic, you're gonna have to be on biologics. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with biologics, but they have lots and lots and lots. The list can go on of symptoms. I was taking biologics when I first got diagnosed. It took me some time because, again, I didn't want to be a target of these symptoms, and I already knew, but my inflammation was so bad when I got diagnosed that I ended up taking it. I think it was like months later. And that's when I also knew that I had the fístulas, because I knew about them months later, because they started to really bother me. And then I had to stop because of, I think it was called weeping eczema. Like, it was all over my body. I couldn't really go out because my whole body was just full of, like, I don't know how you call it, like, this gooey sort of liquid, and it would come out because I would itch it and it would just come out. Like, it was very gross. So I went off it. And yeah, I guess that's kind of like what the story has been. So now, again, yesterday he told me that, and maybe this is why I'm making this video, because it just, you're trying to process so many things. I'm like, nope, I don't want to go back to biologics. And to me, right, as God is the one, the divine healer, I'm like, Lord, please help me, because I do think he's part of this process. Finding this doctor, this is recommended, things are healing, but then it's just really hard to heal them. And just asking for the grace, because I have to take it for 3 months. 1 month is done, 2 more months. Figure out, that's why they said there, figure out what probiotics gonna help with this antibiotic to counteract that sort of feeling of throwing up. And I remember when I had been in the hospital multiple times, things would upset my stomach, and I would feel that urge to throw up. So then I would take a certain strain of probiotics, and that would help me a lot. So I'm gonna try that. That's the goal, and that's the update for this video. But I think overall, I know the battle is not easy. My hope is to heal them and Now it's been years now, I think, since I got diagnosed to now. But before, I couldn't even sit like this. I couldn't sit my bum down on a chair because I would be in so much pain. To now, praise God, because it's not easy to say no to things you like food. It's not easy to say no to triggers, right? Like just learning to inhale and exhale about different worries that happen in life, because we all have them. And journaling and making lists and all these things, and implementing, finding time, not scrolling. Recently, I've noticed how much peace I get. I can't say I was doing it right now. I was doing it, but it was cool in the sense that I was being inspired because there was somebody that is lifting weights, and I kind of want to get to that level. But with school, it's just a lot, and volunteer, and it's like go go go. But I think I do want to get to a level where I could have a stronger body and be trained in it, right? Like paying somebody, that would be a dream. But it starts with that inspiration. So I was being inspired. Yes, was I comparing myself? Yes, I was. Because I was like, I want to have that bod. But it's like, okay, Anna, how can I make this perception into a positive one where I'm not judging myself and it's like, well, I want to exercise more. I want to be healthier. I think that's a great way to look at it versus I want this, I want that. Especially when it's what's the word I'm looking for? It's not to increase your potential, is avoid of what you look like. There's a word for this. Why am I not? It's a vice. But it's like, I want to paint my nails. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to have it, versus I want this because it's going to make me a better person. Hopefully that makes sense. So let's say, you can have healthy nails, kind of like me. And then you're like, no, but I want them to be painted and I want this. And it's like, well, is that really necessary? Again, you can come up with your own conclusion there. Maybe this could also be controversial, but if your nails look nice and you just spending more time and money, because that's the other, and effort and mental energy and memory worrying about your nails not getting done, then we have to look at that. Kind of like me. I'm getting all these worries because I should have more time to figure out if I can go to the gym or figure out if I can do a stronger home workout with more weights or like heavier weights. Because I would even dare to say that's how you start. Now I think I'm just rambling on. But to summarize, I'm going to go on this journey of these antibiotics. And I am so done in the sense that I don't want this to be the next step, but it is. And in a way, I'm like, well, I thought this was over, but it's like, how is it over, Anna? You still need healing. And it's this sort of mechanism. And I think this is what I began with the video. That's like, okay, well, I'm fine now. Then you kind of start going back, pushing back to things that you have to keep up, to that discipline that you have to keep up. So thank you guys for listening. Back on the grind, or had still been on the grind, but just taking, little detours. But I want to be firm. I want to keep avoiding the things I need to avoid. And I guess in a way, keep updating you guys on the process. Yeah? Deal? No deal? Yeah. I think that's all I had to say. I hope you guys, if you're watching this video and you're in a lot of pain and you just got diagnosed, or things are very muddy and yucky and you're very tired of them being yucky, I want to tell you that it might not get better, but it might. And if it does, praise the Lord for that. And if it does, please don't be afraid to tell your story, because we need that. We need that hope. And if it doesn't get better, like I said in the video, please look at all the things that are happening, like having a shelter, having food on the table, being able to buy the foods you don't want to eat because you want some sweets, you want some chips, you want some corn. Just who do you have around you that is there for you? What books can you read? How much rest can you get? Because as life gets better, you're not going to be able to rest as much. So hopefully this makes sense. Thank you guys for listening, and God bless you. Bye. God bless. Bye.